Hello there, I am Gifty Auntie and welcome to TSP with Gifty Auntie. Yes, it's that time again. Hello and welcome to TSP with me, Gifty Auntie. Who, one of those people who you can call at any time, and if they are really, really not busy, they'll be there. They will sort you out somehow. Not that you take them for granted, or sometimes they get to know that you yourself are lastminute.com. So they kind of, psych themselves up that, this one there, no matter, that's how she is. My guest today is one such person for me. She's come through for me many times. Last minute always. But I promise 2025 I've changed. I won't do that to her again. But she's an amazing young woman. She's someone, if you're not careful, you underestimate. She's a designer. She serves her Muslim community. She fits in with Christians, Muslim, anybody. She grew up or lived a bit of her life outside this country. But if she has to be a Zango girl, don't mess. Before I introduce my girl, let me say thank you to Amazing Grace Enterprise for my fabric. This rich auntie showing my Sisifia. Yeah, let me say. My cameraman said, Sisifia is there. Showing my Sisifia is by Eminent Fashions. Thank you so much to them. My hair is by Avia Hair Collection and styled by Michelin's Mirror. Thank you so much. Makeup beautifully done by The Global. And of course, makeup product from Sigma Health and Beauty. My jewelry, blinging today, is by The Boy Fashion. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together, even as I welcome my Hajia Zalia. You can call her Zaqi. Good to see you. Again, you look beautiful.
Thank you.
Hair makeup is by Pensy Beauty Heart, yeah. So you can contact them as well. Please take a seat.
Sure,
take a seat.
thank you.
Well, I'll be back. I'm in a hurry to go and talk, Welcome back to TSP with me, Gifty Auntie, and my guest is Hajia Zaliatu Kasim, who is the founder and creative director of Zaqi, and she's a social justice activist as well. But before I get to talk to her or we start our conversation, let me say thank you to Old Mutual Retirement Salary Plan. The new order of retirement is here. Now, all you need to do is to deposit a lump sum into the Old Mutual Salary Plan, and you will be sorted out for the rest of your life. Every single month, you'll receive an alert. That's your salary. It doesn't matter how old you are, but of course, you have to be 50 and above. Every single month. And the exciting thing about it is that at the end of every year, beginning of a year, depending on when you invest, every year you get an increment so that you get the retirement that you deserve. Call them today on 050-453-4333 or visit www.oldmutual.com. Better still, just put in a call through to *789*01# and you will be sorted out big term. Obrapa, ahudo, enkwa. Now to Verna mineral water, balanced pH level, low in sodium, all the minerals that any good water has to have. It is endorsed by the Ghana Medical Association, and they believe in giving back to society. That's what excites me about them, because, you know, that's what my life is all about. Thank you to Big O Drinks. And then Catesville, where every child's dream comes through. They are on the Sphinx Road. That's the mall, the big one, 3 floors, you know, has everything kids. Next to Noble House. Get there and have an exciting moment with your kids, and your own child within you will come out as well. We are so grateful to all our sponsors and supporters. Now to my guests. First of all, thank you so much for honoring this invitation.
My
Very
pleasure.
short notice, but
yeah,
you and I believe in God.
Oh, yes.
And we know that everything
it's possible.
is possible. Thank God the elections are over.
Alhamdulillah. Yep.
How is 2025 looking like for you?
It's that year that God willing, the actual breakthrough I'm looking for Zaqi and Claude, hopefully by the will of Allah comes through. Opening up a bigger hub for training and then manufacturing. So hopefully everything goes as planned, and 2025, hopefully looks good.
Hopefully it looks good.
Yeah.
You say that with a smile on your face.
How
did you get into designing or fashion?
So like you mentioned earlier, living in the States and a Muslim woman, it's not easy to get an outfit that doesn't have an issue, because we have the way we're supposed to dress sort of outlined for us. And after a while, you get tired of being in the abaya, black abaya every time. For that, I had a number of them, but I've always wanted to style myself. You can get you go to maybe Macy's, you get a long dress, but there'll be slits on the side so your legs are showing, or you get a dress, it's sleeveless, you have to put on those extra, so I actually went into it to, learn how to sew so I can just sew for myself.
Okay.
So midway through. So
you actually went to a fashion school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, to study fashion, learn how to sew so that I can just be making my clothes and my daughter's clothes. But then when halfway through the school and doing my practicals and testing it on my friends, I used my friends as guinea pigs. I'm sorry. So we find out that
Lydia Fossen, sorry. You made a dress for me, and when she sent me a message, sis, Zaqi, I wouldn't mind her. She used me when she was learning how to, and now she doesn't mind me. I said, this one is jealousy.
So halfway through it, I realized that it's something that we are lacking here, especially the Muslim women in Ghana. Not to say that my designs are just for Muslim women, obviously, but because now more and more young women are going to school, going to the corporate world, and they'll be married, and you have to dress up to fulfill the corporate world and also the religious obligations on them. Okay. I thought, why not go into mother's wear? Further, because most of the outfits we wear, they either come from Dubai, Turkey, and I was like, we can make it here, produce it ourselves, and style ourselves. So that's how I ended up in mother's wear fashion.
How was life like for you in the U.S. as a Muslim woman? You grew up in Ghana, right?
Yes, I grew up in Ghana. I left here as a teenager. So
okay. So it's not marriage that took you to the U.S.?
Yeah, marriage took you to the
Okay.
But if I say anything else, Bashira is going to be like Obwa. So
so since you don't want the full story out, okay, we'll keep that. You do it, okay. But so it's marriage that took you.
Yes.
There. Okay, your husband was already there.
Yes, he went. It's an arranged marriage.
Okay.
Yes, so I was betrothed to him as a kid.
How was it like at that time? How did you feel?
Yeah, so honestly, because I had no idea all I knew about was my schooling. And I really wasn't enthused about it.
You were told that you were going to go to school, not to go and marry?
No. So I'm getting married, but then I'll go back to school. And so that happened. I went back to school. Okay. And so I was married, going to school, and had kids. And so I did everything at the same time.
But
yeah.
did you know him before then?
Yeah, vaguely.
Okay.
Yeah. So we are third cousins, but not we were not
No
living
blood
together
related.
or
Yeah.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So it was just when I go to the village, which is Winchi. I think I was a kid, so I have a vague memory of him. And when he was leaving for this, because he had a scholarship and moved to the States to study on full scholarship. So yeah, when he was leaving, I remember escorting him to the airport because our age difference is not that much.
Okay.
Yeah, he's I think 7, 8 years older than
So
me.
when he was leaving, you knew
Yes.
that you had already been betrothed to him?
No, I knew him, but I didn't know I was to
Marry him?
Marry him, yeah.
Okay. So when you got there and you met him, he's like, okay.
No, he came here. He came for the marriage.
To marry.
Yeah,
And then,
he came, then we got married, so.
At what point did you fall in love with him?
Oh,
it's about.
Is it hard in here?
Yes. It's about catching the untold stories. At what point did you fall in love with him? Because I believe it was after the marriage. Right?
Yes, it was.
Because you know, when we hear about arranged marriages, especially the Muslim community,
Yes.
we hear only the negative
stories. Yes.
But you have been married to this same guy for how many years now?
27 years.
27 years.
Yeah.
Though it started as an arrangement.
Uh-huh.
That's why I want us to tell this story, you know.
Yeah. So, you know how as you live with a person, you tend to get to know the person. And so I did it through marriage. It wasn't through dating. So it was like I got married before we started dating. Stepping out, going out, hanging. And he's a very kind person. Anyone that knows him knows he's a really, really kind-hearted person. And I think to love someone who is kind-hearted comes very easy. No abuse, nothing. So it was pretty much easy to, flow with it and not feel like constrained or controlled or have. So sometimes some friends feel like when I first got married back in school, because I left high school, and so they told us like, oh, someone started a rumor that I was married to a 70-year-old man in the north, and they brought cows, and now I'm in the north. So, but gradually, we had our first daughter, and so I wasn't thinking about how you fall in love. But you asking me, I was like, it came so easy that I don't think I had to think about it. Yeah.
And you've been married for 27 years. 3 daughters.
2 girls, 2 boys.
Oh, you're blessed.
Yeah, and 2 adopted.
2 adopted. So 6. How old is your older?
She's she turned 26 in July.
You look 26 years yourself.
Thank you.
Madam.
No.
She'll be working. I'm sure a lot of time people say that, you think that you are sisters.
Yeah. And actually some people, when I tell them, they think I'm joking, I'm lying. Yeah, but I have those 2 old daughters, yeah.
What kind of parents do you have?
I had a strict parents, especially my mom. My mom, I had her first marriage, but unfortunately, my older siblings, their father passed away. Okay. Then she married my dad, so she became his 3rd wife.
Okay.
Yeah, so I didn't grow up much with my father because he was mostly traveling. He was a healer, so he was mostly in Ivory Coast, comes to Kumasi, Winchi, and also then he gradually, so it was more like he married, and wherever he goes, he has a family there, so that, So my mom was here in Accra, so I did not grow much with him because he passed away, I think I was about 9, 10. Yeah, so my mom basically raised us, and she's half Yoruba, so you can imagine. Very strict.
Very strict. Half Yoruba, like your sister.
Yes. Yeah.
So, after this program, we are going to have a meeting, right?
Oh, yeah.
And they will give it to us so that we came to discuss it, but we
exactly.
Don't
care. So, but it was strict, but then...
Your mom educated?
Yeah, she wasn't. She wasn't. So she's the kind of mom back in the day, parents are rich. You grow up, then they put you together with another rich family's son. So that was her first one. So then she got married at 14, 15 back in the day. Then unfortunately he passed away, and because my grandmother I was named after her, Zaliatu. Yeah, very industrious, rich woman, but formal education wise, they didn't give to their kids. So my mother, even though was not formally educated, made sure we got the education. Yeah, she knew the importance of it. So actually, one of the conditions that I mentioned, and she actually made it clear, was even though I'm getting married, I will go back to school.
Right.
Yeah.
She was a strong woman, and that's somebody you refer to as a let's say a destiny changer.
Yeah.
Breaking the cycle, or a
Yes.
cycle breaker.
Yeah,
that's
breaking
the phrase I was
yes.
looking for. Cycle breaker. She made sure that though her mother didn't go to school, she also didn't go to school. Her children will get it. And so, how many were you?
So on my mother's side, there are 6 of us.
6 of you.
Yes.
Okay, make sure all of you went to school.
Yes.
And you are number?
I'm number 5.
Okay.
Yeah, and I have a younger brother. He's the 6th one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Make sure all of you went to school.
Yeah, so that's where she got the affirmation to make sure, because with the first 4 children from the first marriage, and she was younger, the family sort of took the kids and spread them apart, and only my older brother, he got educated as he was, and then my sister that I come after. But the first 2, like, because they were taken away from her, she couldn't do much. So with us, she was steadfast, and she was like, we are not going anywhere. She's not moving us to our father's family. So she held on and made sure my brother and I got to this.
What do you think you took from your mother?
Almost everything. My mom was hard. Oh my goodness. But very, very caring and loving. And she was like the caretaker amongst her cousins and siblings and all. They look at her for leadership. Yeah, so she was like the big, strong, big sister that is there for, make sure everything, and you, like, no nonsense will pass without her addressing it.
I wish your older daughter were here. So what kind of mother are you?
I don't think they'll answer while I'm sitting here. They'll be looking at you like, you later. Yeah, she just got back from the States. She went to shadow something because she decided to go to medical school here in Ghana because she wants to give back, because she feels like in America they don't need her. So she decided to come here, study. So she's at Kolebu. This is going to be her final year. Wow. She'll be Dr. Mariam.
I have goosebumps. That's beautiful. She's going to be Dr. who?
Dr. Mariam Sam.
Dr. Mariam Sam. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. So you are making sure your children don't marry early.
Well, I like the bit of struggles I had to do, marriage, children, school. It wasn't easy. Not that I would change anything, because I feel like whatever you go through, you're destined to go through it, so that whatever lesson you take from it, and then you try to correct what's to come.
But and again, I think we've talked about the world is changing.
Yeah.
The things or the circumstances under which your mother had to marry early and you had to marry early. And thank God you got a good man who kept his promise of, yes, you go back to school, went back to school. It's changing now.
Yes.
Yeah, it's changing now. So we can't say that because you did, so your children must do, that's a thing.
So he is very peculiar about the education too. So alhamdulillah, all the kids have gotten educated.
Are you going to have an arranged marriage for them?
If they are okay with it. Because in our religion, you can't force.
Okay.
Yeah, it's against Islam to force your child or whoever to marry someone they don't want.
Okay.
So even if there is a plan to arrange, really it's up to them. If they're okay with it, I'm okay with it. If not, then it's not happening.
Why, have you spotted some partners for them already?
Actually.
Hadia.
No. See, like I always say, I will not make the decision for them. All I know is the person has to be, have the faith in Islam, have your, because those are the rules that have been placed down.
Right.
First, that religion has to be that the person has to be faithful, because it takes a faithful man to handle a home like without any abuse or anything.
Right.
So it has, because once you fear God, you will have the softness of heart to take care of other people. So, and then what you do, you have a halal, that is legal means of income. You don't have to be overly rich, but have a source of income that is halal, a overall character, good person. That's all
Then you'd
that
be
matters.
good.
Yeah,
You would
so
want a man like your husband for them?
I wouldn't mind. Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
And that's what you pray
because
for,
like
of
the
course.
kind, like I keep
Pray for
saying,
him.
the kindness, because he is a kind person, and whatever you do, you have to, because a kind person will always think about how you feel. That he's not perfect, but then he's kind and he fears God. You know,
Right.
his deen is key
And
to him.
that's I mean, the basics.
Exactly.
That's the basic. That will
Exactly.
definitely make a person a
Because
good human being.
sometimes when a man abuses a woman, the first thing that you think about, especially now, Allah no nsuro nyame ana. Because obi onsuro nyame and obe ended up to beat a woman to pulp or abuse her in any form. Yeah.
Okay. So you are not from the north.
No, I'm not.
You're from Wenchi, and
Well, my dad's mother is from Winchi. I was born and raised from Accra, so I always say I'm from Accra. When I say that,
can you speak Ga?
why didn't you?
Why did you? Oh, yoga.
Yoga.
Hey, hey, okay. Inu.
I try.
You try.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. I need to take a break, and when we come back, we'll look at your social justice side of you. The fire, But I just want to yes, you talked about going to learn fashion school to learn fashion, but before that, what did you do? What
Actually, my degree is in accounting.
Your degree is in accounting,
financial accounting.
which I'm sure helps your fashion.
It does. It does. Yeah, but then I left it for fashion.
Left it for fashion.
The degree that meaning baby Adam.
On that note, I need to take a break when we come back. The accountant who has put her certificates, she doesn't even know where to doing fashion. That should tell you how, passionate she is about what she does. Well, let me say thank you to Yep Cleaning Services. They make sure our environment is clean all the time. We are grateful to them. Thank you to House of Food, Auntie Vera and the team. I love and appreciate you. Mrs. Foripoku and the family, thank you for always being there for us. We're also grateful to this one, the ones who give me plants. I love plants. And that's Heaven's Garden for all they're natural plants. And we've had these plants since May 2024. So you can imagine. And they're still flourishing. It's good. I love indoor plants. So we are grateful to all of them. We'll take a break. When we come back, do you know about the hijab is my identity? Do you know about those women who, anyway, we'll be back. Welcome back to TSP with me. That's with me, Gifty Auntie. Thank you so much. And I'd like to say thank you to Amazing Grace Enterprise. That's at Tudu, opposite the fire service. Thank you so much for the fabric. My outfit is by Eminat Fashions. You can, follow them on Instagram as well. We are grateful to them. My hair by Avia hair collection. My makeup by the Global Makeup Products by Sigma Health and Beauty. So grateful to them. And of course, my jewelry by The Boy of Fashion. I'm talking to Hajia Zaliatu. I always wanted that Zali. I didn't know it's Zaliatu. We capture untold stories right here on TSP with me. And today I'm getting to know her better. So much I didn't know about you. It's good. So let me ask you.
No.
When you finally, when you went to the US, yes, you grew up, you were at a certain age that you went. But anytime you come back and then you see your Muslim community and sometimes how people perceive and treat Muslim women. What makes you that angry?
Because the world is moving without us, and it's sad. And sometimes it gets me angry. Because even though there are things put in place, I've gotten to a point where I have stopped blaming the powers that be and blaming ourselves because we do not utilize the opportunities that are there, even though it's not much. We prioritize things that are not necessary. And that makes me angry sometimes. Yeah, but gradually we are getting there because now we are having more and more young women going for tertiary education, making something of themselves, understanding that they have to be financially stable before getting into any relationship and not have the idea that, you know, I need a man, I need to be married for the man to take care of it. We are living in a world that our parents were not living in anymore. Now we have men that think it has to be 50-50. Meanwhile, our religion does not teach us that. And now, because things are changing, we might as well also try and change with the time so we don't become dependent on people that don't care about us and end up depressed or homeless or anything of that matter, because it's happening more and more and more in our societies now.
You know, I got to understand Islam better since I started. You know, there's Muslim Women's Conference of which you know you've been a part of and spoken at as some of them before. Like the opportunities and the kind of powers that the Quran gives to women, you know, and then there we are, non-Muslims, sometimes even Muslims, have this perception about how a Muslim woman should be, like having lives at the feet of mothers. You know, I remember one of the Rashida Malik, she is with us, Muslim Legion, Business Legion or something. And I spoke at one of the conferences, and one of the speakers talked about how even the Quran talks about the need to breastfeed, you know, and all that. And I was like, well, what are we lacking? Is it that women are not reading for themselves, or they are not being taught? Is it a deliberate attempt to keep them ignorant?
I don't think anyone can keep one ignorant. One keeps him or herself ignorant because we have the opportunities at our feet to learn. Even if we cannot read the Quran and understand it in Arabic, it's been translated. So if someone says this is in the Quran, you can always go and check, is it true? You do not take their word for it because Quran is perfect. Islam is perfect. The humans that are practicing it, they are not. And a lot of times people will try to interpret or try to misconstrue what the Quran teaches to benefit them. Exactly. So take something like polygamy. Even though it is allowed, there are conditions there. But they take the part that you can marry up to 4 and run with it without making sure they understand what it entails. As a Muslim woman, to even go into marriage, forgive my shortcomings if I don't have it right. In the beginning, you can have the discussion that you cannot have a co-wife. And once he agrees, he cannot later come and change and go have a co-wife. But many don't know.
I see.
So far as you have it down that I do not want, because it's not forced on the person. So
you have the right to make it a condition.
Yes.
Let's say, if you want to marry me, then this is my condition.
Yes. But people are so much in love that they don't even think about it.
Don't we all?
I didn't even know. It was later that I found out. And marriage is like worship for us, you know. And there may be so many things that does not make sense to the ordinary mind. But then when you really sit and think about it, you will understand the reason why Allah said this A, B, C, D. Having a man have 4 wives. Back then, in the era of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, women were just being used. You can find a man that has concubines. He has so many women that they don't respect them or anything. So why he ayah came that there was then a cutoff came, which is 4. And if we are going to look at the life of our prophet, our prophet was married to Nana Khadija, his first wife.
Yeah.
for so many years. It was after she passed away that he married again. And other than Nana Aisha, the rest were widows, they were divorcees, they were like people just it wasn't just him seeing and lusting about someone and marrying. He was doing it to solve a problem. Some of them he didn't. He was intentional. Some of them he did not even have relation with. It was just to have the cover of having a husband. But when you fast forward to our generation now, they hear you can marry 4 and they think they can have a single room, put a partition in there and have 2 wives in there. It's not right. You have to have the financial means, because whatever you do to wife A, you have to do to wife B equally. The only thing you cannot be equal about is the love you have for them, because nobody can love a person equally. No matter what, there will be something about someone that you love more than the other. But anything else, you buy 1,000 cedis fabric, you have to buy 1,000 cedis fabric for the other one. Otherwise, you respond to it on a day of judgment.
Didn't you have backlash when you came out, you came out to educate and empower Muslim women, especially?
We did, because they didn't know about the rights of wearing the hijab. So when the fight started, it was this young girl that Fola Shade.
Yeah.
She went to write her wasi, I think. And one of the invigilators told her to remove her hijab before going in there. And she refused, because sometimes it bothers me. I don't understand why just a piece of cloth on my head stops me from doing anything. And that's where I think she made, a post was made, and it went viral. And actually that's the campaign that brought...
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys
So I saw them trying to put something together. I sent a message that I want to be a part.
Yeah.
So that's like that single act of Fola Shade that she refused, and the post was made and it went viral. Because then people started saying, "Oh, me too." It was like a Me Too movement for Muslim girls and women in their workspaces and school.
Right.
So that's when we started the fight. And when your good friend, God bless his soul, Bagia passed away, I immediately told Bashira the reason why I knew of you because of Lydia. Like, your relationship started through him because he immediately called and was like, you should have us on the program. And you immediately gave us a slot. I was like, whoa, like that was huge. It was a big deal, and we can't thank you enough, because it helped shed more light on the campaign.
Yeah, and it helped. I got educated as well, and it helped me anytime I go anywhere to speak and I spot a Muslim woman or young person in there, I'm able to speak for her to also benefit from what I'm talking about. And it's powerful. I mean, you ladies have inspired a lot of young Muslim women too. They look up to you and like, I see her, I can also do that. I can also do that. And I'm glad we shared your story today that, don't marry early, you went back to school. And now this is where you are. You earn your own money and all that. So getting married as a young Muslim woman, that shouldn't be the end of your, your journey or your life. But you can also live, the kind of life that you want. But then this is something that affects, you are part of the gender movement, when it comes to, Ghana and indeed beyond. We've strived so hard. We fight, and it's always like one step back, two steps. One step forward, two steps back. Why do we still? I had a meltdown quite recently, and I had a conversation with some of them, including Bash. Like, I get so stressed when I see women tearing each other down. It breaks my heart.
It's really sad.
I saw a post and I shared this and said, listen, you are my friend, a woman to me. We talk about others. We don't talk about each other behind us, you know. So I mean, we can't all like each other.
No.
But it looks like we fight, and the issues, we must definitely have our differences. There are things we'll not agree on. There are things I don't agree on. There's things that, I mean, we all do that. There's sometimes I make a post, I'm sure you say like, this woman, is she growing old or something? You know, it's like, I also see some of you guys, your posts like, are these girls, are they going to grow up? Or, you know, it's that, but there are things that we should not tear each other down.
Yeah.
Over. And do it.
Yeah.
And you wonder, when will it end?
Will it ever? I don't see it ending, because most of the times when you see women tearing each other down, you see that jealousy or hatred. They see their failure in the success of that person they are tearing down. How dare she? How could it? Just because you could just reach her. How did you do it? I mean, how hard is it? How did you do it? How do I get? I think an hour before you called me, Erasang, you know her,
yes.
She sent me a message that there's this fashion New York Fashion Week. I have the link. She's coming. If you are interested, call this number. She didn't have to.
Yeah.
But she got the message. She thought of me. I'm a designer. She'd be like, okay, if you are interested, this is the number. What stops us from being there for each other? Because if we were to come together, like these men have come together, pushing each other up. Just a few minutes, I don't want to go into politics, but I made a post and I was talking about how the presence of women is still like not even 30%.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I have same women not getting where I'm coming from, defending it. And
we should be grateful. Like, at least we have it.
I was like, yes, at least we have the second. I was like,
yes, yeah.
I was like,
vice, you know, being a woman, we should be grateful.
I was like, so I'm supposed to be okay? No. Yeah. Why did we pass the affirmative action law? Why did we pass it?
Yeah.
Then it doesn't make sense, because we are working and it seems like we are not helping each other. When we were going to, like, with this issue of the tax on parts and everything, yes. It was this Medina MP that was spearheading it. And man, the women are not mad about what were they doing? Do we not care, or is it because you can easily access it? It doesn't like
occur to you
that people are suffering.
Yeah.
So what's the point? So I always make this when they think I'm just. Don't tell me to vote for a woman because she's on the ballot. I don't want just a woman. I want someone that will make that difference. Because if it's just a woman, we have them there. Nobody took up that campaign.
Right.
She didn't even care to bring it out for debate.
Right.
It took a man to do that. So why are you there?
Right. Right.
We are busy educating our young girls, empowering them, giving them the confidence and everything. Then we turn around and not defend them. That they are not experienced enough, not knowledgeable enough. But we are forgetting that, like the example they were giving on my post. Yeah. Yes, these men are well knowledgeable and well experienced. It's because they were given an opportunity to get that experience. Yes. What stopped them from having women at that time? So they all rise in the rank and you still have it there. Yes. So we need to correct that.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to correct that. I agree. I agree to that. But, you know, briefly on this, let's stay on politics. Do you think we are expecting too much from Vice President Gina Opoku-Agyeman?
I would say yes, because at the end of the day, she's the vice president, not the president. So anything that she may want to do still has to go through the number one.
Right.
You know, she can do her best, but if they're also hell-bent on keeping her there as figurehead, we are in trouble.
Well, it's early days yet. We are in January. She took over power. Yeah. You know, they took over power not too long ago.
Yeah,
so we'll definitely wish her the best and, you know, hope that we'll see her input. I mean, she'll be allowed, So I should
That's the thing.
I'll be allowed.
That's why I
to
say she's number 2. She still has to go through number 1.
Exactly. She'll be allowed to operate it. But let's come back to Zaqi.
Now.
Zaqi, is it, what's the correct word? Is it uncouth, yeah?
Enclothed.
Unclothed.
Yes.
Unclothed. Yeah.
So with the enclothed, when I went to register the business, they said, one, there's a company that sounds like it. The spelling is different, but it sounds like it. So I have to qualify it. And everybody has, if they're couture, which
fashion,
not everybody is allowed to use couture, because you have to be certified to use couture on your brand. Yeah, you have to go to Italy for that, but that's beside the point. So you see, fashion so I wanted to stand out.
Okay.
So I went searching and researching and finding. So enclothed basically is modest, to cover. And I do modest wear, so it just worked. So Zaqi enclothed, so to clothe, it's a fashion.
And you do have been on a number of fashion shows, and all that. And I also know that you train people for free.
I do.
You do that. Is it a periodical thing you do, or every time you?
So because I can't afford to do many, I take 1 or 2 at a time.
Okay.
And majority of it too is the interns. They go to fashion school, or they are done and they want to polish up. So they come, and then we train them. And then I sort of take from scratch. Just recently, we just finished training a young man, because now I have the digital embroidery. So I trained him, because he was done with SHS and he was not doing anything. And every time I'm passing by, Haja, come to me, I don't want you. So I was like, hey, what are you doing? He said he's not doing anything. Would you like to learn digital embroidery? He said yes. 6 months later, now he operates the machine. So I try to do my part in giving back.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. Right. Well done. Well done. At least today I can boast that I know you a bit better. When we started with 2025, the kind of dream that you have, expand and, have, in November 2024, we had Joyce Abebio, on the show, and she talked about the dream of having her brand at a departmental store in US, push her to open the school, and do we have a school coming up?
Yeah, so that's what I was saying, that to open that bigger hub. So my whole idea is to go global and to also reduce the import of the Dubai, Turkey inferior clothing, because you will see what you see on the mannequin or in the lookbook or anything, once you order, it comes in, the fabrics are flimsy, the stitches are all coming out, and it's just not up to. And so I'm trying to come up with so far I've produced some abayas. And then when someone
now you've gone to the ready to wear.
Ready to wear. So this is like, did I make that here? So now that I have the embroidery and all, I make them, and you would think it came from Dubai, but it's not. Even the men's kaftans and jilbab. So now I want to, we are now expanding. So we'll have the training part. So we train them, then we'll employ them back into to work in the factory, inshallah.
That's awesome. What have you got to say to women? Not just Muslim women, but women for this year, 2025. What should they do differently from all the years?
Okay. All I would say is just go for it, whatever it is, because you have to start at some point. Those ideas that you have at the back of your mind, or those screenshots you've taken and things that you want to work on, and you are still piling out and feeling like it's not time yet. There's never at the right time. Just go for it, and you are worth it. Whatever it is that you want to do, just take the first step. Sometimes I come up with ideas and I don't even know how I'm going to get the money, aside from, calling the so
the ATM.
So that's another thing too, to have a supportive spouse or supportive partner is very, very important. Don't stifle yourself in a situation that goes against you. And if you have children too, they always come first. So always protect them, protect yourself, and I wish you the very best.
And we wish you the very best
Thank
as
you.
well. I talked about Old Mutual. Yes. Old Mutual, we have a little package for you here, right
All
here.
right. Thank you so much.
I know that you are not
Yeah,
just
I was
50.
listening when you're talking. I was like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
this could be something that you can look into and not
Exactly.
fear having a haircut.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
She's trouble you. But wish you all the best.
Yeah,
Okay?
thank you
Wish
so
you all the
much.
best.
Thank you
And
so much. Thank
the
you for
next time
having
I'm
me.
coming, I'll be wearing a Zaqi.
Inshallah, no
The
problem.
previous, I've worn a few. I'm sure if you watch, I've worn some Zaqi on the show as well. So the next season, I'm going to wear a Zaqi. And my birthday is coming up. So my photo shoot, there must be a Zaqi. Yes,
There will
I'm lobbying.
There will be.
I'll be back with a bit of me. After all that, by the grace of God, I've done and achieved, and the fact that in some few days I'm going to turn 55, I think I've earned the right to say certain things. Don't be afraid to be the first. Don't be afraid to be the pace setter. Don't be afraid to be the one who is different. I remember, if there's any insult I've received with regards to me being married, it's about the fact that I was called Oheneyere. That title existed before I married a chief and was called Oheneyere. But Lord have mercy. I agree that many of you hadn't heard the title before. So it was through me that you got to know the title Oheneyere. What insult didn't I receive? What accusation didn't I face? What wasn't said? What wasn't done? But guess what? I endured it all. I stood tall. I ran with a title and with a name. Though, trust me, there were times that I was shaking and asked myself, why? Because indeed, I am Gifty Auntie. And I'd achieved a lot before that name was given to me, or that title was given to me. So do I even really need that? But guess what? Today, almost every chief's wife is Oheneyere. And they take that title without being insulted. It's become normal. In fact, even if you don't call yourself Oheneyere, people will call you Oheneyere because you're married to a chief. But I had to endure that. I had to go through that. Am I bitter? No. Am I angry? Yes, sometimes. But that's what it takes to break certain things. Some people even think that I was the first. No, that name existed. So dare to hold your head high. Dare to take that decision. Dare to be that different one. Dare to be the one who break the cycle. Dare to be the one. 2025. We ain't doing things normal. No, not the same way. No. In fact, well, what I want to say, let me hold on for now. Thanks for watching. I remain a woman with super crazy faith in God. I know God has got me covered, but He's also given me wisdom to use. But 2025, I'm going to make sure I keep God in the story, and that, I believe, will see me through. Mwah.